Most of what we communicate is expressed through body language. So listen to these people explain how comfortable their Danks furniture is. Danks, the comfort of home.
A very good evening and welcome to Hale Hockey Club for round 14 of the Hockey UWA Men's Premier Grade. Hale currently sitting in the 6th position, taking on UWA, who are currently in 4th. So a really big game for, I think they're in 3rd, in fact, my apologies, just behind YMCC. But just looking now for a really big win from Hale today, because that can lift them up into closer to the league leaders. At the moment, it's Fremantle are way ahead at the front of the top of the table, but then you got Melville are on 24, Vic Parker on 23, with Hale on 21 points in 6th spot, and then UWA, well, they are in 3rd behind on 28 points. YMCC are on 28, and Hale, Fremantle Cockburn on 33. So this is a really big game for the home side. As we take a look at their team lineup and some of the changes they've got in this game. Well, apparently Daniel Sybil, we've been told, is not going to be playing. Asger Wade will be in the starting lineup wearing number 17. Jack Pearce, a number change for him. He's actually going to be wearing number 34. But Ben Arnold comes in for his brother Tom Arnold. Sam Ashton is missing, so too Benji Austin. Players taking a holiday during the season. What's that all about? Anyway, that's what they're doing this week. So they are missing, which means Jack Pearce comes in, and so too, as I said, Asger Wade. They will be rotating their goalkeepers. So we have Jared Crick and Leon Hayward as the goalkeepers for Hale Hockey Club. Turning our attention now to University of WA. And again, they've got a few changes from their game from last week against Fremantle, which was a 3-3 draw. Out go Ethan Yem, Isaac Dyer, Chris Henderson, the goalkeeper, Golding and Jackson Geddes. And in comes Tristan Rourke, Flynn Ogilvie, Yannick Mulders, Finn Bell and Ben Ashford. So they've got a few new faces there. Chris Sorello and Lachlan Buzzico will be the ones looking to convert the penalty corners. For me, James Hackett was the player of the match for UWA in that game against Fremantle Cockburn. He was superb in the midfield, and with Ogilvie and Evans alongside him, that may well be where UWA get the ascendancy over Hale. Hale a little bit short in the midfield this year. Anyway, I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to sharing all of the action with you from this game, which promises to be an absolute belter, so don't go anywhere. Hale have conceded the second least amount of goals, and UWA, well, they've scored the second most amount of goals. So read into that whatever you may. Liam Flynn comes forward as the captain, so too Kobe Green, the captain for UWA, for the coin toss down below. And it looks like UWA have won that, and so I think they're going to just stick with the end that they are at. Certainly looked as if that might be the call. But this should be a cracker of a game. When they met earlier in the season, I can tell you that it was a 5-2 victory for UWA at their ground. And that was really the first loss for Hale, and then they went through a bit of a dip. So they'll want to get their season back on track again with a win tonight. And if they can do that, well, they'll be in amongst it come finals time. There's still a long way to go, and a lot of teams bunched up on points. It's very, very close. Of course, Hale missing 3 of their under-21 players who were away. They're back from their tour of Europe, but apparently not allowed to play this weekend. Have to rest them. Well, things change, don't they? It used to be when you were young, get as many games in as you can. Now it's keep them in cotton wool. Well, UWA over the ball, Frank Main. Handshake between him and Sam McCulloch just at the top of your screen. Friendships now, but there will be no love lost once the game gets underway. This is always a very tight fixture, and it is always usually a little bit spicy. Must admit, I'm pleased to see Flynn Ogilvie out there for UWA. Such an exciting player. Ball played back to Kobe Green and quickly closed down by McCulloch. It was good work by him on Matt Fisher. And over the halfway. Good turn in the middle of the midfield by Hale, but just ran too far away. Well, Sam Ashton, you feel, is going to be missed. It's stolen away by Liam Flynn. Flynn advancing on the circle, goes onto the reverse stick, forced wide and gets right underneath that one and puts it out of the ground over the protective fencing. Well, Ashton's been such a key player in the midfield for Hale. Fred Gray will shoulder that responsibility today. Not too many games left for him as he's just signed for TSV Mannheim in Germany. I think he might have one more game to play. McCulloch putting pressure on at the back and just caught his foot that time. I'm not sure what UWA are complaining about there. It was just a good bit of pressure. Sorello has to just pick up a bit of pace to keep that one in play. Short pass to Buzzico. Sorello again, two players teaming him. Kobe Green feeding it out wide, well read that time by Asger Wade. Feeding it forward now. Ball play back into the circle, into the D they go. Cross the face of goal, sharp save by Mulders. Hale showing a little bit of endeavour around the circle early on. We will try and let you know who number 34 is for Hale, because on the team sheet there is no 34. I think it's actually Jack Pearce. It is indeed, yeah, Jack Pearce, who was going to wear 9. So it's going to be a long corner for Hale. Stepping forward, Fred Gray. Gray tries to dribble it towards and it catches Wickham on the top of his foot. That's a painful blow. Not much protection there. Wickham on the ball. Goes back to Sorello. Played forward by UWA. Wickham again inside the circle. Great tackle coming out though. Played up the line, Fukunaga for Hale. Nice 3D skills by him. Sorello just got his foot out of the way very quickly. Good work again defensively that time being done by Hale, and that was big Blake Murdoch at the back. And that's a great ball. Pearce plays it towards goal and Mulders just kicks it over the sideline. Sorello sportingly giving the ball to Asger Wade. Short pass from him to Fukunaga. Fukunaga drills it in. Comes off the stick that time of Max Nelson, the 15-year-old who made his debut last week against Fremantle Cockburn. Daughter of Shani Nelson, who we just saw in the Women's Premier League game. Darryl McCormack saying after the game he couldn't believe he's 3 times the age of Max Nelson. Deflected away by Ben Baxter. It's still with Hale, though, on the attack on the far side. Stolen away. Good tackle from Kobe Green, but Hale got it back. Drilled into the circle. Up it goes and off the pads and Mulder. Well, he did really well that time, Yannick Mulders. It was not an easy one to save. It ricocheted up and he just poured it away. And that's going to be a 16 now for Hale. So Braden King to carry the ball out. Going to get closed down by Baxter. He throws it high and wide. Was watched all the way. It was good work by Ben Arnold. His brother, of course, Tom, making his first team debut last week. Tom Wickham bursting over halfway. 3 players chasing him. Arnold did well. It's King who takes the ball. That was good work by Braden King. He just skipped around that time. James Hackett. As Gawait is going to be put under pressure. Slips it through to Fukunaga. Fukunaga just played the ball, unfortunately, behind McCulloch. It's back with UWA. They go on the attack. Frank Main now. Main, nice turn, but also taken away well by Fred Gray. Gray carries it up to the midfield and will win a free hit there. Ball just coming off the foot of Hackett. So a really brisk start. 5.5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Missed by Sorello. Did he get a touch? It's gone over the side. Yes, says the umpire. It's a Hale ball down by the corner flag. Self pass taken quickly. Trying to weave his way towards the D into the circle. That's a great pass. Mulders denies Liam Flynn another goal. Still alive for Hale, but maybe should have just let that one run for Ben Arnold, Liam Flynn. It's good work out wide, though, by Charlie Johnston. Charlie Johnston, I couldn't believe looking at the stats today that hasn't actually got a goal this season because he's created plenty of opportunities for himself. And I know that all his teammates are willing him to score. The man they call Chicken. I think that's something to do with the way he runs. Sorello goes wide in the defensive line. We'll get the ball back. So much experience for Sorello. Now it's Buzzicoat carries it up into Fukunaga. Closed down. Wickham will try and keep it in play and manages to do so. What a steal that was in the corner. Wickham appealing for it, but a really good tackle coming in to just steal the ball as he lifted it up. I think that was actually Charlie Johnston. For a second I thought it was Blake Murdoch, but it was in fact Charlie Johnston. And Nelson just losing the ball as he tumbled over. So Hale go on the attack. That's asking quite a lot. Good running, though, coming from Jack Pearce. Ball stayed in play. Sorello pushed out wide by him. Hale again trying to hem them in. Nelson, good pass down the line, finds Wickham. Wickham tries a little bit of magic, but Braden King holds him up. Will be a free hit to UWA. We're halfway through the first quarter. Still 0-0. And smashed towards the circle. Took a deflection off the stick of King. But it's going to be a free out because the ball was lifted high and King was taking evasive action. Well read as that was played forward and turned over. Sorello has done well. Comes to Sorello again, just outside the 23. Plays it back to Max Nelson. Nelson decides to go on a run himself, helps it down the line. Now it's drilled again, it's lifted up as it's tried to be played towards the circle by UWA. So just lifted that time by James Hackett. Oh, just dinked over the top. Fred Gray now. Gray carrying it through the middle. Good steal that time coming in from Matt Fisher. In fact, it's Flynn Ogilvie. Ogilvie bursting forward, one hand on the stick. Ogilvie still keeping his feet. Wins a free hit, top of the circle. Hackett's over the ball. Ogilvie's behind him. Hackett looking for options. Has to go 5 meters. Plays it into the shins at the top of the circle. The shins of Ben Arnold. And McCulloch, I didn't quite see what happened there. And McCulloch, I think, is going to have to go off. He just got a blow to the side of the head. But he's in a bit of trouble. Hale could do without that. McCulloch is a key player. He was out for about 5 weeks. He was away and then injured. He's back at work and was just coming back. 2 goals last week were just what they needed. Ogilvie takes it. Great steal. Really good steal by Liam Flynn. Flynn goes wide. Back it goes in the defensive line. Thrown long into the air. Great work by Max Nelson. Threw his stick up and brought it down. Now it's Buzzico. To Ogilvie. Back to Sorello. Ogilvie's ahead of him. Gets the ball again. I think Ogilvie was making his way off for a breather. Indeed he was, as he now goes off and Kobe Green comes on. Into the defensive line it goes, and Finn Bell goes out wide to Max Nelson. But Hale have got the ball back. They go on the attack. Lovely little run down the left-hand side. 3 players in his wake, trying to turn quickly. Good work by Pearce. That was Jorgensen with a pacey run down the left-hand side. Jorgensen now plays on quickly, trying to feed the ball into the circle. Stolen away from Green. It's with Liam Flynn. Flynn beats one. Did it hit the foot? He thought it did. And, well, a free hit has been given just outside the circle by the umpire. I think Hale thought that was a penalty corner. I have to say, initially I did too. Rintu Fukunaga will take it. Jorgensen, whose break set this up. Trying to turn and find a way into the circle. Good work by Blake Murdoch. And it's going to be a long corner to Hale. Jorgensen calling for the ball at the 23. We're into the final 4.5 minutes of the first quarter. Fred Gray goes to Braden King. King to Jorgensen now. Jorgensen looking up as he received that. Accelerates. Really good touch coming from Tom Wickham. In fact, it wasn't Tom Wickham. It was Jacob Evans. My apologies. All these beards are just confusing me a little bit. It's like a team of action men. With the eagle eyes and the gripping hands. Showing my age, I know. Here come UWA now on the attack. Into the circle it goes. A very important deflection by Jorgensen as Evans was ghosting in behind him. So now it's a long corner for UWA. Kobe Green feeds it across the field of play to Sorello. Sorello goes down the line. He just showed a little bit too much of the ball there. And then good defensive work being done by Ben Arnold. Ben Arnold, who was part of the WA under 18s in 2022 and 2023. Again, thrown to the air long. Good pass forward, finds Pearce. Great defending again by Max Nelson. Wow, this guy has got some promise, hasn't he? Just 15 years of age. Fed down the line, aiming the pass into the path of Frank Main, but good defence again from Hale. 3 minutes to go, thrown long into the sky, and did that touch the body? It did, unfortunately. Charlie Johnson underneath it. So we have the first penalty corner of the match, and it goes the way of UWA. And they've got some dangerous players from penalty corners. So Leon Hayward, he would know all about penalty corner flicking at the highest level, having been in goal for New Zealand and Australia during his career. So Sorello lines up at the first battery. Lachlan Buzzico is at the second. Hale defenders behind the line. Sorello leans on his stick. It's a good trap. He flicks well, and it's got the better of Hayward. He was in the right line, but the pace of Sorello just too much, and UWA take the lead, courtesy of Chris Sorello. One penalty corner, one goal. 13th minute. Sorello takes his tally to 13 for the season for UWA. Such a key part of the game. Braden King. And you just hope Charlie Johnston won't let that bother him. I don't think it will. He's not that kind of player, not that kind of person. But it may well make him more determined to actually get amongst the goals himself. Maybe we'll see that first elusive goal. Comes wide again to Buzzico. Just pushed it infield to Wickham. Wickham trying to turn. Fukunaga stays with him. Flynn comes to help out. Infield it goes to Green. Good diagonal pass and good work again by Jorgensen, but it'll be Evans' ball from the side for UWA. Nelson plays it back to Sorello. Sorello shaped as if he was going to go to Fisher. Flynn gives chase. Sorello has to check back. Goes again to Nelson. Nelson, good work by him. Lovely swerve of the body. Buzzico, though, mistrap from him. It'll be Hale's ball just inside their own half. Braden King comes across to take it from the side. Throws it high. Flynn is behind there, but it's watched all the way by Buzzico. Brought it down. Kobe Green now. 3 players. He managed to squeeze the ball through to Jacob Evans. And Evans again. Well, no, it's Green rather. 2 players there. Kobe Green's going to have to go backwards. Flynn Ogilvie sets off on a run. Short pass, though. It comes to Fisher. He lost it for a second. Fukunaga closes him down, but Flynn, good run diagonally. Gets the pass from Fisher. Feeds it forward again, but it's stolen by Hale. Good work by Gray, but he's turned it straight back to Fisher. And that was lifted straight into the jumping player from Hale. And that was Ben Arnold, who was trying to close down, but also trying to jump out of the way. And he got a painful blow at the top of the thigh at the back. And the players in no hurry to take the free hit because that is the end of the first quarter. And it's been tight, it's been fast-paced, but it is UWA who've taken the lead courtesy of a penalty corner from Chris Sorello. So going into the first break, it is Hale 0, UWA 1.
Most of what we communicate is expressed through body language. So listen to these people tell you how comfortable they are, knowing their Danks furniture will last and last and last. Danks, the comfort of home.
Well, the UWA players surrounding their coach, Paul Godoyne. He will be very happy with the start that they have made to this match. 1-0 up. But he will know that Hale will continue to come back to them. Chris Sorello looking very casual in the background. Mulders, though, had a couple of really good saves to make in that quarter, and he made them. And you look at the players, though, that Hale are missing. Matt Van Selm, Ian Krobela, Jack Faulkner, and then tonight Sam Ashton is away, Benji Austin is away. So they've had their run of bad luck this year in terms of player availability. And then, of course, the 2 Belts brothers, when they come back from the Kookaburras Tour of Europe, they'll add another dimension to the team. But the plus is they're giving the youngsters a go, and they're still in contention for the finals. But you feel they need to get something out of this game, whether it's a draw, whether it's a victory. Point could be crucial. As UWA get us underway again, nearly stolen by McCulloch. Good to see him back out there, but here comes Ogilvie. That's a very good tackle by Braden King. Feeds it forward. Charlie Johnson, well, he should get that. In fact, he's done well. He's made a run over ahead. It was Fisher he stole the ball off of. And just held up well by Jack Pearce. And it will be a Hale free hit just inside UWA's half. They go backwards. Baxter looks to close down, but carried forward now by Blake Murdoch. Helps it into the path of Gray. Murdoch's continued his run. Gray still somehow got it, but he will get a, well, no, he'll be penalised. It came up into his shins. Murdoch needs to now get back. Defensive duties for him, but he just drops into the midfield. Ogilvie pings that one across field to Tom Wickham. Wickham helps it forward to Ben Baxter. Baxter's pacey. And Baxter, well, he did catch the foot of Jorgensen. It was a late whistle, I think, because they were just seeing if there was an advantage to UWA. Lachlan Buzzico takes a touch and feeds it forward. Wickham turns and pings it into the circle, but it goes one bounce out of play behind the goal of Leon Hayward. So it'll be a 16 to Hale. You can probably hear the buzz around the ground here. There's quite a few people in on a Friday night. Thrown high and long. Asger Wade brings it down on the far side for Hale. Plays it back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen, he shaped as if he was going to play that to Murdoch early and probably was wise just to hold off, because in the forward line, UWA were alert to that danger and Frank Main was ready to pounce. It's going to be a free hit now to Hale. Liam Flynn over the ball. Just hiding behind the floodlight. Oh, that's come to Frank Main. He would pull wide. Flynn comes back to help out. Good touch from Murdoch. Stolen away by Charlie Johnson now. Good pass by him out onto the left-hand side. Oh, what a finish by Sam McCulloch. That is outstanding on the reverse stick. Well, I said how important McCulloch is to Hale. He's back in the starting lineup. He's away from injury. And that is his third goal in 2 games. And when he's confident, he's hard to stop. Fantastic finish by Sam McCulloch. Pulls Hale level. Just 3 minutes into the second quarter. Very little Yannick Mulders could do about that one. And Sam McCulloch was a Tasmanian Institute of Sport scholarship holder. Played his hockey for Canterbury Hockey Club. Was with Wimbledon last year in the UK as Jorgensen goes on a mazy run. That was a good tackle coming in by Baxter. Still with Hale though, as now King comes forward. Feeds it to Gray on the right-hand side. Gray cuts infield, got past one, falling. Trying to play it back was Johnston. He's turned it over now, and Ogilvie goes on the attack. Gray is there, and King got a stick on that. Well, the free hit has to be back nearer the halfway line. That's way too far forward, and pleased to say the umpires have picked that one up. They still look like they're going to take it from about 10 metres ahead of where the offence occurred, and now Tom Keating making sure that they take it from the right place. Sorello goes wide. Fisher. And tried to just reverse stick that one into the circle, but it was, again, good defence. Wickham denied. And Sorello is in a foot race with Pearce. He should just get that one. He just lets that one run. Pearce just held up as he thought Sorello was going to pull the ball back. Good dummy by the veteran Sorello. Nelson, down the line it goes, but just gone over the side, so Hale ball. Almost 5 minutes gone in this second quarter. Hale back in the match at 1-1. Fukunaga getting pushed around a little bit, but it's a free hit to UWA. Tom Wickham feeds it forward, and Fisher missed it, but it's fallen broken kindly for UWA. Shot is wide that time. Well, it wasn't a bad attempt from Tristan Rourke. Tristan Rourke managed to just seem to get so much time and space at the top of the circle. Jorgensen comes on. Ball fed forward to McCulloch on the right-hand side this time, but he just lost control of that. Well, it was a good run in the middle of the circle as well from Ben Arnold, so McCulloch just really had to get it across to him. And you felt Arnold then just had Mulders to beat from about 3 or 4 metres. Nelson closed down by Arnold. The ricochet came off his shins, so free hit to Max Nelson. Sorello. Happy to just play the ball back into the defensive line. Hackett wide to Nelson. Fred Gray dropping deep for Hale. Liam Flynn just making away, just out of shot along the outside of the field of play. Well, he's on the field of play, but just right on the sideline. Main miscontrolled. Good work by Harrison Regan. Made his debut last week for Hale. A nice turn now by McCulloch. Oh dear, that was good work by Fisher. McCulloch, I think, was trying to be clever, but Fisher read it well. Deflected over the side. Baxter plays on quickly for UWA. Baxter to the baseline. Into the circle it goes. Hayward off his line quickly. And he needed to be. There were two players lurking. One was Tom Wickham, the other was Frank Main. Comes all the way back to Buzzico, mistrapped by him. Hale looked to push forward now. Arnold was the man, but he went alone. And you really need others to go with you if you're going to close down in that situation. Well, we've seen a tumble inside the circle. Rourke hitting the turf. Into the D it goes. King is there, cleans up at the back. Three players from UWA converge on him. He got the pass to Harrison Regan. He just clears it out of that danger area. It goes to Buzzico. Max Nelson now, who looks as if he's been playing at this level all his life. Just 15, second game. And that was a good touch by Main and a good steal inside the D. Well, how can that not? Well, it is actually. The whistle has gone. Matt Willis was just a little bit hard to hear with the headphones on and on the other side of the ground and all the talking going on around us. So Braden King throws the ball long out on the left-hand side. So it's still Braden King now. Sorry, we just had a little technical glitch there, but all sorted now. Jacob Evans feeds it into Tom Wickham. Wickham nowhere to go, has to drop the ball back to Ogilvie. Ogilvie tried to throw it to the air, but Johnston brought it down. Turned away brilliantly from Kobe Green. Johnston going, and Green catches him as he's going away. Wow. Thought that might at least be a green card. And looking at Jeff Cock down on my left-hand side, the coach of Hale, he thought so too. Shot on the turn, and Mulders had to make the save. It'll be a long corner to Hale. 6 minutes left in the first half. All tied up at one apiece. Braden King just runs away from Ben Baxter. Baxter closes him down, so he has to go back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen gives it back to King, and Baxter moves across, cut off the early ball into the circle. Jorgensen again, little run from him forward, feeds it out wide to Claxton. Claxton, well, I thought he'd got the angle wrong, but in the end, McCulloch did very well. And over the baseline it goes, but it was a free hit to Hale. Claxton again drills it in. Oh, and that was almost an overhead smash at the back post from Arnold. I think he was caught a little bit by surprise, couldn't direct it towards goal. So Buzzico feeds it out, but that was a long way ahead of Max Nelson. So it'll be Hale ball just outside the 23. We're into the final 5 minutes now of the first half. Will either of these sides take the lead into half-time? Brought down inside the D by Blake Murdoch. Murdoch, though, just stolen away from him. He's stolen it back from Ogilvie. Ogilvie snapping at his heels. And it's going to be a free hit just outside. Caught the foot there of Frank Main. Good work by Murdoch. Murdoch has to take it the 5 meters, goes outside the circle, but then as he played it into the turf, he lifted it dangerously into the circle, even though it went into the side netting. So 16 is paid. Kobe Green feeds it out wide. Hackett now. Claxton looks to close him down. Nice turn from Hackett. Good tackle from Fred Gray. Max Nelson. Happy to go back to Kobe Green. Square to Buzzico. Flynn is there. Green again. Feeding it forward to Wickham, who dropped back to help out. And that's a good touch again coming back from Charlie Johnston. Asger Wade leaves it now for Braden King. We've got 3.5 minutes left in the first half. King slides it down the line, but nobody's on that line. Trying to pull wide was Ben Arnold, but just too much pace on the ball, and I think King just played it a little bit early as Arnold was trying to make that run. It's gone over the side, so it's not a 16. It's just a ball up the side. It's gone over the side now, so Hale's ball just inside the 23. Charlie Johnston, 2 UWA players ahead of him. A third comes in. He gets caught by Nelson. So it'll be another free hit to Hale. This time Johnston goes back to Claxton. All the way back into the defensive line. Blake Murdoch pushes it out to Jorgensen. Jorgensen pursued by Main, plays it up forward into the corner. And that's going to be, I think, a long corner to Hale, wide on the left-hand side. Jorgensen feeds it to King. It was a tricky ball. King did well. Good pass, finds Flynn, and Flynn blocked as he tried to shoot. It's going to be another long corner to Hale. Jorgensen goes to King again. King fires it in, deflected almost well by Johnston. He did well to get on the end of it, but the deflection didn't come off for him. Now Jorgensen steals it into the circle. He finds Flynn. Flynn's got round the keeper, desperately trying to get back, and it is a goal. Liam Flynn gets another goal to his tally, and Hale take the lead. Well, Mulder's just caught as Flynn somehow got the ball around him, and the defender just letting it dribble into the goal. So 28th minute, there is just under 2 minutes left. So UWA took the lead. Hale have bounced back in this second quarter. And it's stolen away again. Charlie Johnston. Well, there was a shirt tug there. Don't think that was seen by the officials. Shoot is a good one. Oh, and Mulders does well to deny McCulloch. He came off his line well. McCulloch had to try and lift it over him. And in fact, he lifted it over the keeper and out of play. Charlie Johnston again. Good steal, good pass. And as I say, there was a slight tug of his shirt, I thought. And Fukunaga steals now on halfway. Short pass to Gray. Needs to watch out because Evans was coming back. Fukunaga into the circle. Oh, just, well. Stolen away by Fisher. Fairly, says the umpire. I think, to be fair, Fukunaga just let it run too far ahead of him. And Fisher said, thank you very much, and just stood his ground and took it away. Rinto Fukunaga let it run that time. Ogilvie says, thank you very much. And that's a lovely little swerve. Carried forward again, UWA with Wickham. Could be danger in this final minute now. They got 15 seconds to get the ball in. Good defensive play. Fukunaga picks up the ball, cuts back infield. Knows he's just got to kill the play. Takes a touch off Fisher. It'll go out by the final corner, far corner, but there will be no further play because the hooter sounds, and that is the end of the second quarter. And it's been a very good quarter for Hale. Wonderful finish by Sam McCulloch to pull them level, and then Liam Flynn getting a second to give Hale the lead. So as we head into half-time, it is Hale 2, UWA 1.
Most of what we communicate is expressed through body language. So listen to these people explain how comfortable their Danks furniture is. comfort of home. Most of what we communicate is expressed through body language. So listen to these people tell you how they feel about having furniture from a local company with over 50 years experience in creating comfort. Danks, the comfort of home.
Half time here in this round 14 clash between Hale and UWA. Hale leading by 2-1 after being down by 1-0. And this will be an interesting match. Again, there's very little to choose between these two teams when they meet here at Hale Hockey Club. Going back to 2017, played 6 times. Hale have won twice. There have been 2 draws and there have been 2 wins to UWA. Hale have scored 18, UWA 21. So very high average, 6.5. Not sure we're going to get that many today, but it should still be a pretty exciting game. Liam Flynn, that's his 15th goal. And I can tell you, he hasn't played any game. He didn't play, only played one of the last 3 meetings between these two. So that was where UWA were fairly dominant in those games as well in 2024. They won 3-2 and they won 5-1. So Liam Flynn back and he's got a goal. Paul Godoyne, you can see there, talking to his team. Sure, he'll be pleased with the way they're playing. He'll just want them to stop turning it over in the midfield, because certainly in that second quarter, Hale just pushed up, put them under pressure and stole possession. And there were a few misdirected passes when in the first quarter, UWA had been very crisp. You just feel that the midfield, if you can get control of that, the recycling of the bottles you can just hear in the background. Hale obviously big on recycling here. Just like to acknowledge again the sponsors that make the live stream of all Hale's home Premier League games in the Men's Premier League and the Women's Premier League possible. Danks, the comfort of home. We've got a new sponsor on board, EFA Financial, and they aspire to provide the best financial solutions at an affordable price and make a significant difference to the financial lives of their clients. Also, we've got Endeavour Homes, who offer money back for each new home built by anyone from the club. So if you're building a home, please contact Endeavour Homes, because they're supporting hockey. Also, the Sporting Globe, Punjab Indian restaurant in Innaloo, they're offering 10% discount to all Hale Hockey Club members. And of course then there's Flow Massage Guns, also offering a discount prices to all Hale Hockey Club members. So plenty of reasons to be a Hale Hockey Club member. Discounts all around the place. Well, both teams now making their way out, and the young kids sprinting off. How is this game gonna finish? 2-1 at half-time in favour of the home side. Really big game for them, as I said, because they want to climb up that ladder. Had a good win last week against North Coast Raiders, but they want to go back-to-back if they can and keep that climb going up the ladder towards the final series. It will be Hale to get us underway. Fred Gray over the ball. Whistle goes, and he plays it back to Braden King, who's immediately put under pressure by Frank Main, but feeds it to Marcus Jorgensen. Jorgensen carries up to halfway, and it's good work on halfway. Eventually turned over. And, well, that should be Hale's ball, and it is. Well, again, what was that off for Evans? And it's a long corner to Hale. Needs to come out to the left-hand side a little bit further, directly opposite where it crossed the baseline. Fred Gray is over the ball. Goes back to Braden King. I'm not sure that Gray took it exactly where it crossed the baseline. Brought down well inside the circle. Skips past one. Still going towards the baseline, but in the end it was stolen away. Certainly Blake Murdoch getting into that corner quite regularly and being found by Hale. Causing a few problems, big Blake Murdoch. Comes from Bustleton in the southwest. King steps out, the man from Geraldton in the Midwest. Lovely pass again. Along the baseline goes Flynn, across the face of goal. He missed that one, Fukunaga, and he lifted that again. Fukunaga played it into the turf. He just put his hand up to his headband in frustration. Jacob Evans brings it down now in the middle of the park. Good steal again. Charlie Johnston, what a game he's having. Top of the circle. Fisher had to get that one out because Liam Flynn was right behind him and no other defender there. It's another long corner to Hale. Fred Gray over the ball once more. Comes square now to Asger Wade. Wade looks up, tries to push it into the circle. Found McCulloch. McCulloch frees it up. Flynn slipped as he was trying to turn. Good defence played out, though, initially by UWA. That was the Finn Bell. And now it's Max Nelson. Clears it well with a reverse stick shot. So, Braden King. King just holding things up. Fred Gray to Asger Wade. Gray got a little bit of a deflection under pressure that time from Kobe Green, but it's UWA now swarming forward, these green shirts. Fed forward again to Tom Wickham. Wickham feeds it down the line. Good ball to Frank Main. Frank Main goes on the reverse stick, then tries to play it across the face of goal. Should be a goal, and it is a goal. And UWA pull one back. So we're all level again at 2 apiece. That was really good work by Frank Main. A good little dummy on the far side. And I'm pretty sure it was Kobe Green that got the final touch, but we'll check that shortly. You just felt there was more in this game. And immediately, just in the 4th minute of the second half, we've seen UWA pull back and get things level. Well, they haven't confirmed yet who the goal scorer was, but I thought it was Kobe Green. Flynn Ogilvie was pretty quick to congratulate him. Lovely turn coming that time from Ben Arnold. Arnold is going to get inside the circle. Arnold goes through a gap that, well, it was so narrow, and it's Max Nelson again. Great defending by him, stepping forward and stepping up. You can see why Paul Godoyne has given Max Nelson his first team debut, because he is playing like someone who is a seasoned veteran. Baxter gets the touch, but strong from Asger Wade. Braden King throws that high and long. Brought down by Claxton. Oh dear, didn't quite get the connection, and then it goes into the leg of Liam Flynn. Nelson wants to get on with things quickly. Feeds it to Wickham. Wickham helps it forward. Strong again from King. And Jacob Evans' stick goes flying. It's going to be UWA ball from the side. Nelson comes forward to take it. Stolen away by Hale. Flynn gets his stick on the end of it and cleverly played it into Buzzico's feet. Flynn bursting forward, 3 players to beat, 2 go with him. He hits the foot again and earns his side a penalty corner. So Hale with their first penalty corner of the match. Can they get the lead back again? And I can confirm Kobe Green did in fact get the second goal for UWA. Was pretty sure that he had. Kobe Green, the captain, born in Bunbury, started his hockey down at Buoyant Up Hockey Club. So Liam Flynn will line up at the first battery. Sam McCulloch at the second. I was watching Flynn flicking in the warm-up, which you don't often see him do. I just wonder whether he's going to try something different. It goes to Flynn. It's a good save by Mulders. King misses it, top of the circle. And here's a chance now for UWA. Hackett over the ball, feeds it towards Wickham. Wickham's got a clear run towards the D. Pulls it back, maybe a little bit too far. Turns back, back post. Oh, wow, would you ever. Hackett gets a third for UWA. A really good run out of defence by UWA, and they take the lead back. James Hackett at the back post. He made a bursting run through the middle. And there was very little Jared Crick could do that time. So this game is seesawing from one side to the other. And really, it was the save of Mulders, you have to say, that set that up. It was a strong, solid connection from the goalkeeper. Hale missed it at the top of the D, and that meant that they were able to counter-attack. Trying to turn there was Ben Arnold. And just left behind again. Frustration shown by Claxton. Well, Hale want the free hit. The free hit's gone the other way. So UWA can now slow things down just a little bit now. They've got the lead back. Comes wide to Buzzico. Buzzico closed down quickly by McCulloch. Brilliant work by McCulloch. Found the foot as well. Jorgensen. We haven't seen so many runs from him at the start of this second half and third quarter. Goes back to Braden King. Harrison Regan. Only his second game in the first grade. Good pass again. And Johnston takes a tumble, edge of the circle. Play on is the call. Well, in fact, no, it's a free hit going against Hale. Charlie Johnston will feel hard done by. McCulloch got a touch on that, but it's going to break kindly for Tom Wickham. Wickham cuts infield past McCulloch. Feeds it down the line. That's a good pass to find Buzzico, but just catching his foot. So Hale can breathe easy. They'll get the ball out of defence. Braden King takes a little touch and then just strolls forward as if he's walking his dog. And it's an old dog. King now throws it to the air, looking for McCulloch. Well, McCulloch probably, if he'd have just stood, he might have got the free hit there, but because he took a couple of little steps, although, of course, it is when the ball is thrown that you must be stationary under the ball. Jorgensen. Ogilvie was wanting the free hit for Jorgensen, shielding the ball. Well, that's a free hit against Flynn that time. Shakes his head, but there's no denying that his stick went over the top of the Hale player's stick. Claxton with a free hit on the far side for Hale as they look to try and get back in this match, having taken the lead going into half-time. They've been pegged back and overhauled now by UWA. Gone past the halfway stage in this third quarter. UWA looking to carry it out of defence. In fact, I've been told Frank Main got the goal, not Hackett. I thought it was Hackett. Well, my apologies if it was Main. And Nelson does well. Played infield, that's going to find Wickham. Wickham again will get the chance. Good defensive play from Charlie Johnston, who's going to try and keep that in play. Just can't quite make it. Long corner. Well, Paul Goodwin's complaining that Charlie Johnston didn't give the ball to Tom Wickham. I don't blame him. You're not meant to. but I think he's upset that the ball boy was a little bit slow to get a ball to Wickham. Buzzico cuts infield. Goes back to Fisher. Hackett. Wickham again. Tries to turn. Great tackle coming in from Charlie Johnston. Johnston again. Well, he stumbled a little bit there. And the free hit's gone against him. He looks a little surprised. Ogilvie back to Fisher. Buzzico. Kobe Green. 4.5 till the final break. Fisher almost looked like he was running on the spot for a second. Pass is a good one. It's broken kindly for Wickham. Wickham's in there. King, close attention. King closes down and Wickham shoots over the crossbar. Well, good defence from Braden King. Tom Wickham, always dangerous, over 100 caps for the Kookaburras. Went to 2 Olympic Games as well. Won a silver in Tokyo. And that's going to break for McCulloch. Great defence again from Max Nelson. Well, Nelson is got a great eye for the ball. There's a couple of tackles he's timed to perfection, and also difficult balls brought under control. Asger Wade deflected by King into the path of Jorgensen. Evans comes across to close him down. Good ball down the sideline, trying to cut him from the flank now. Blake Murdoch keeps control, and does he find the foot? No, he doesn't. 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. UWA with a 1-goal advantage. Over the side it goes from UWA. Fred Gray has to turn away from Ben Baxter. He's pursued by Baxter and Ogilvie. And Ogilvie has stopped, well, thought he'd start it, but the free hit goes, in fact, the way of Fred Gray. Played into the turf, lifted, I thought, but not paid. And again, trying to get on the end of that is Charlie Johnston. It will now be UWA's ball. Wickham pulled wide onto the right-hand side, bottom of your screen. Stolen away on halfway. Blake Murdoch again doing the stealing. It's now Braden King. Fred Gray just sitting square. Evans is in close attendance, but Gray just pulls away. Evans comes, gets a touch. Nice interplay between Evans and Hackett. Feeds it into the path of Wickham. Wickham goes inside. Good defensive play in the end by Hale, but it's going to come to Evans, and it's just gone to the back post. Baxter denied. Well, a really sharp save in the end from Jared Crick. It looked as if Baxter must score. Ball goes back again, thrown out wide now. Kobe Green underneath it. Goes out of play, just off Jorgensen. Buzzico, we're in the final 2 minutes of this quarter. Ogilvie turns away, drops the ball back to Green. Buzzico once more. Pearce working hard in the forward line for Hale. Took a touch, I think, that time off the stick of McCulloch. Good defensive play. Strong at the back. UWA have the ball back there. Ogilvie looking for a little bit of magic from him. Pursued all the time by Charlie Johnston. Johnston won't give up the goose, but, well, Ogilvie, did he actually stop the ball? That's the question. Umpires are happy, but I don't think he did. And then Baxter, that looked as if it was an obstruction that time from Ogilvie, but it's a penalty corner given by the umpire. Second penalty corner for UWA. No Sorello on the field of play, so you would think that Buzzico would be the preferred option. Just over a minute left in the third quarter. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Danks, We Sure Know Sofas, and EFA Financial. New sponsor on board with the club, of course, and Endeavour Homes. So Tom Wickham makes his way to the baseline. Kobe Green is at the second battery. And we have Lachlan Buzzico at the first. So Buzzico, you would think, would be the preferred option. Umpire just making sure that the defence is behind the goal line. The whistle goes. Goes to Buzzico, he flicks, and it's a sharp save by Jared Crick. It's going to be another penalty corner, I think. Umpire's arms were outstretched, and the whistle had gone when the second shot came in after the rebound. So they resume their positions. Buzzico at the first battery, and Kobe Green at the second. Once again, umpire almost like riot control, keeping the defenders behind the goal line. They go to Buzzico again. It's a mistrap by Ogilvie, brought down by Hackett on the 23. Tries to square it to Ogilvie. He has to scramble to get it under control. Hale defence, though, quickly closing down Ogilvie. Over the side it goes. He'll take the ball from the side. We're into the final minute now of the third quarter. And it's a free hit just outside the circle for UWA. Tried to deflect it into the deep, and that was brilliant work by Kobe Green, and just too far ahead that time for Hale. Good attempt to try and get on the end of the ball forward from Jack Pearce. 24 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Played into the defensive line. Buzzico trying to be closed down. Comes wide to Nelson. Nelson just dinks it forward to Wickham. Strong again from King. And King gets the free hit. He wants to get it forward quickly. There's not much time. Fukunaga, good pass, but a little bit of space there. Brilliant defense coming across, though, by Buzzico. Read it well. And the Hooters gone. And that is the end of the third quarter, which has been a really good one for UWA. Kobe Green and Frank Main pulling them level and taking them in front. So as we head into the final break, it is Hale 2, UWA 3.
Most of what we communicate is expressed through body language. So listen to these people tell you how comfortable they are, knowing their Danks furniture will last and last and last. Danks, the comfort of home.
Well, final words now from Jeff Cock, the coach of Hale. In the middle of that huddle, he's got to find some inspiring words to lift them. Managed to lift them in the second quarter. Can they do it again in the fourth? As that gentleman just stands right in front of our camera, we apologise for that. And he's going to do it again. Anyway, we'll turn our attention to UWA. And Paul Godoyne, you can see, just standing there. Alongside him is Finn Bell, the number 22. Can they hang on this time? They've got the lead back and have been moving the ball well. Hale are already coming out for this final quarter. That shows their purpose. And you just feel there may well be a couple more goals in this game. What did I know? I said the average number of goals in this fixture here at Hale is 6.5. Well, we've got 5 goals already this time around. You just feel that the next goal, if Hale get it, will they manage to go on and win it? If UWA get it, you would feel that that would seal the match. Sam McCulloch is over the ball for Hale on halfway. They got 15 minutes to salvage a point. It's thrown long by Braden King. Missed by the defence. Buzzico put under pressure, finds Wickham. Charlie Johnson again puts a lot of pressure on. Nelson turns it over. Flynn tries to go towards the circle, loses possession though. And now it's Wickham again. Helps it down the line, and well, confusion between Fukunaga and King. And well, Jorgensen thought he'd got it, but deemed to have been a backstick. And look at the space at the back post, drilled towards goal. Brilliant save, Jared Crick. That was a superb save, and it may well, in the context of the game, be a crucial save. Just in so much space out wide. Matt Fisher it was who absolutely lathered that. Well, again, Hale, I think, feeling a little hard done by. The ball was bounced from a thrown pass by UWA, and yet Hale penalised as it kicked off the turf for the danger. Well, that's what it appeared to me to be the decision. And that's lifted into the circle on the reverse stick by Fisher, so danger definitely that time around. Can Hale find a goal from somewhere? Paul Godoyne down below just talking deeply with James Hackett about what he wants him to do as he's about to go on. Jorgensen has a little bit of a metre lead down the right-hand side. He's held up and caught his foot, so the decision goes against him. He looks up into the night sky in frustration. And played into the defensive line. Looking to close down was McCulloch. Pressure is good from Hale. One again. But over the side it goes off the stick of King. Hale are going to have to push numbers forward. And slipping. It's King who has the ball. There was nobody coming up square on the left-hand side. And he's got the free hit, but was being interfered with as he was trying to get on with play, and he's drilled that one way too high into the circle. So Flynn will close down Buzzico again. Buzzico appeared to lift it into the body of Flynn, and that's why Flynn is looking perplexed at the umpire. Certainly seemed to have hit Flynn above the knee, but play the free hit going the way of the UWA player. And again, free hit goes their way. Max Nelson will lift it, but Flynn got his stick up to bring that one down. Dinks it forward to Fukunaga. Can he keep it in play? Pursued by Kobe Green, and a little bit of afters from Green for Fukunaga. He won't mind that. Into Fukunaga. Won't say anything, but he's as tough as old boots. Blake Murdoch now switches it across to the right-hand side. Jorgensen, faced with Baxter, pushes it past him. Continues his run, offers a square pass into the circle, and it's going to be a long corner. Again, Jorgensen just making sure it's in the right spot. Goes on a mazy run. Into the circle it goes. Well, good defence in the end from Ogilvie. Just carries it out of the circle. Murdoch's there again. Stolen back by McCulloch. McCulloch still lurking around, being a pest, trying to get it back for Hale. Kobe Green has it down in the corner. Hale trying to stop them getting out, but wow, what a run that was. And again, there's a lot of physicality going on. Said that these games usually end up that way. And trying to deflect that down the line was Hackett, but it will be a Hale free hit. Fred Gray, you feel, could be a player that has a massive influence on this. Brought down in the centre of the field. Wickham now. Fukunaga's there, coming back was McCulloch. And Fukunaga just getting the stick of Wickham rather than the ball. UWA now happy to just pass it around. Buzzico to Nelson. Nelson finds the foot of McCulloch. King comes across, gets it for Hale. Feeding it forward, that came up off the UWA stick of Hackett. Now complaints again. Oh, dear me. Claxton just gave it straight to Jacob Evans. Baxter goes back to Fisher. McCulloch comes out to help out. Buzzico. Ogilvie just dinks it over the top, and Nelson with a good run into space brings it down under no pressure. Feeds it forward, and Evans miscontrols it. Over the baseline it goes. King throws it high. We're into the final 10 minutes. Just went behind Charlie Johnston that time. Otherwise, he would have been clean through. Johnston ball from the side for Hale. Crowd beginning to find their voice as we're entering this final 10 minutes. Johnston stumbles as he turns. He gets the free hit, though. He was impeded as he turned. I think it was by Buzzico. So Charlie Johnson over the ball again, goes back to Asger Wade. Baxter looks to close down Asger Wade. Caught the stick rather than the ball. Umpire plays a good advantage though with Hale in possession. Interception was a good one coming back that time from Rourke. Still will be Hale's ball from the side. Time is their enemy as much as UWA now. Into the circle, trying to turn is Flynn. Flynn gets a little bit of space, and then it's stolen away from him. He appeals for a free hit. It goes against him. So it's a 16 now for UWA. We're approaching the final, well, the halfway stage of the final quarter. Good ball again to Wickham. Wickham helps it forward. Baxter, good lead. Good defensive play, though, from Blake Murdoch. Murdoch denied by Wickham, robbed him on the 23. Ball goes infield to Main. Main, top of the circle, tried a shot. King blocked it initially. Main still trying to make space for a shot. Good defense from Hale, and they get the free hit. Frank Main had several bites of the cherry that time around, but just couldn't get the shot away. Braden King played his 200th game last week. This is game number 201. Such an important game, you feel, for Hale if they're going to make it into the top 5 and the finals in 2025. There's still quite a few games to go, but you just feel these are the games you need to get the points. Games at home, into the circle, and penalised again. And UWA will take their time. Fisher. Going to square to Buzzico. Up the side they go. Trying to turn on the far side was Finn Bell. Buzzico drops it back to Bell again. Oh, good composure from Bell. And that's a great pass. And the shot from Main. Well, no defender touched that time. It just skewed off Frank Main's stick. Well, he had a chance to just seal the game. Frank Main with the goal that gave UWA the lead. Had a chance to put the exclamation mark on that one. Harrison Regan, good steal again from Hackett. Hackett bursting forward. Good intercept again from Braden King. King drops it to Fukunaga. Feeding it forward to King again, and King just impeded by Buzzico. And that's taken a touch. It should be a long corner, or is it a free hit top of the D? I think it is a long corner. So it is in fact a long corner, and it went out quite wide. Oh, no touch though from a Hale stick inside, so now long corner directly in front of the goal. Jorgensen over the ball, plays it short to King. Asger Wade goes on the overlap on the left-hand side. King's turned it over. Frank Main, oh, and that's a lovely pass. And there's trouble now. Surging through the middle is Evans. Holding the ball up is Rourke. Rourke feeds it into the midfield of Main. Main plays it out wide to Wickham now. Wickham eyes what's available. Played it into the turf and out of play. We're now into the final 5 minutes of the match. Hale trying to find a goal from somewhere to get a share of the points. Fred Gray. Hale players may see him play one more game at home, I've been told, before he heads over to Germany. Fred Gray. Again, UWA taking their time, as you'd expect when you got the lead and you want the clock to wind down. Turned over that time by Nelson. It should be free hit to Hale. It is indeed. Gray comes forward. The ball is stationary. Thought about playing on quickly himself, but takes a touch now. Feeds it to the base, and nobody was there though. And that is a cheap turnover by Hale. And look at the space, just squeezing that through to Wickham. Nobody saw Tom Wickham just ghosted into that gap. Hackett held up momentarily. Back to Flynn Ogilvie. Ogilvie again will create space for himself. Hackett feeds it back to Buzzico. Hits his foot. That's got to be Hale ball. Flynn plays on quickly. Buzzico caught on his heels. He gets the better of Buzzico a second time. Flynn waiting for support. Oh, my word. You wouldn't see Liam Flynn do that too often. Just literally playing the pass straight to James Hackett. Oh, lovely steal again by Charlie Johnson, getting it off Buzzico. Charlie Johnson, edge of the circle, feeds it back to Fukunaga. Fukunaga now trying to weave his way into the D. Gets there. He wants the penalty corner. Nothing doing, says the umpire. The umpires seem to be a fair way away to see that one. And it breaks cleanly. Oh, off the crossbar. Mulder's got a touch. Flynn is still sitting on his backside. Cannot believe he was denied. Great save by the keeper. King steals it. Was he impeded by Wickham? Well, the umpire says no. Wickham now sets off. Jorgensen, strong. Frank Main is there, but Jorgensen gets there as well. We're coming back for the free hit for the challenge from Jorgensen. We've got 2.5 minutes left now. Well, Flynn so close to pulling Hale back again. Mulders with a slight deflection off his mitt onto the crossbar. Finn Bell, nice little shimmy from him. Fukunaga, superb tackle. Braden King runs into 3 players. Gets the free hit, though, for Hale. They need to get it forward. They got 2 minutes remaining and 10 seconds. Fred Gray brings it down in the midfield for Hale. Pushes it wide now to McCulloch. Gets the return pass down the left-hand side. McCulloch runs forward. Gray looks to try and find him. Turns it over. Good steal again coming from Ogilvie. Good work again by Nelson. Main feeds it forward. Wickham. Nice little dodge pass King. Well, Murdoch had it. Somehow Wickham got it back and gets a free hit. Edge of the circle. We're into the final 2 minutes now. Well, just taking his time, Frank Main. It's actually a lot closer to the circle than that. But anyway, Nelson feeds it wide to Finn Bell. Frank Main again. Goes down to the corner. Hale trying to steal it. The free hit goes their way. They've got just over a minute to try and find a goal from somewhere. They did it the other week in the women's game against, I think it was YMCC. But they're going to need to get the ball forward quickly. Fukunaga, heavy touch from him. Murdoch feeds it up to the right-hand side. Jorgensen. Diagonal ball. It's cut out well. Fukunaga needed to get that. He didn't. Hackett got there first. King gets there, though. Wins it back for Hale. 40 seconds left on the clock. Flynn tries to fire it. Top of the circle. It's deflected kindly to Gray. Gray dinks it forward. Should be Charlie Johnston's ball. It is. He's pushed wide, though, towards the edge of the circle. Johnston turns. Penalty corner to Hale. Good work by Charlie Johnston. So second penalty corner of the match. 25 seconds left on the clock. Can Hale get out of jail? Wow, well, well. 25 seconds remaining. Mulders has stepped out of his goal. He's popped the lid on his helmet. Obviously getting his thoughts together. Liam Flynn is there. McCulloch is also there. And you just wonder, I'm sure they will go with Flynn. They may well go with McCulloch. They have both got a goal tonight. Fred Gray is on the baseline. Will they try a variation? The whistle goes. They go to Flynn. It's not a good trap. And that, you feel, is going to be that. Oh, Braden King didn't trap cleanly. He knows he needed to. And it's thrown out wide. Tom Wickham will bring it down. He just has to run the clock down. 10 seconds remaining. Fukunaga tried to just hold him up. Max Nelson over the ball. 1 second remaining. Nelson brings it into play. And UWA, well, they took the lead, were pegged back, and then saw themselves trailing. And it was really 2 goals in that third quarter that turned the game. Kobe Green and Frank Main getting the goals that saw UWA take the lead. And the final score here is Hale 2, UWA 3.
Most of what we communicate is expressed through body language. So listen to these people tell you how they feel about having furniture from a local company with over 50 years experience in creating comfort. Danks, the comfort of home.